Good evening and a warm welcome to Big Budget Business, where we highlight prolific young people making strides in their respective fields. Today we're speaking to actor and content creator Palesa Molefe, who'll be giving us her perspective on Botswana's creative industry, as well as advice on how young people can turn their passions into profits. Palesa Molefe, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure having you. Let's get into Palesa, the individual firstly. Tell us a bit about yourself, your background and the like.
All right. So my full name's Palesa Molefe. I was raised by a single mother, Mesi Molefe. Beautiful woman.
Wow.
I was raised go Muchudi, born and raised. Lived in Gaborone, but the majority of my school life had me going to different places like Maung, Meadows, which was in Molapolole. So I have lived in quite a few places as well. Otherwise, I love life. I love love.
Wow.
I love people. I love authenticity. And I think growing up, I've always just noticed Hore. I'm someone who's very in touch with my emotions and in touch with feelings, and which is what I guess I do now. It's just connected to what I do now.
Wow.
But yeah, what else can I say? Yeah, I'm an only child. Did I say I'm an only child?
No, you
I'm an only child. Mama's little princess.
Wow.
Yeah, I enjoy reading. I enjoy hiking. I hike a lot, which is something my friends make fun of me for, but I'm healthy, so
I think I should join the club.
You should join. You should really join the club. It's really a lot of fun. But I hike. I like cooking. I won't say I'm the best at it, but I like experimenting in the kitchen.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and I love my alone time also. I don't know if that's something I could say I enjoy doing, but I do like that as well. I'm a type of person who enjoys time like that.
Yes, that's great. Wow, okay. I see. It's good that you actually you said early on you identified that you were in touch with your emotions, and that's tied to what you're doing right now.
Yes, definitely.
I think that's full on, like full circle, because it's important for us to do things that we feel we're in touch with and passionate about.
Right, because it's I think it's also what makes it feel like it's very worth it.
Yes.
You know, everyone is so different, and I feel like some people are fortunate enough to tap into their true authentic selves and actually like make it a way of life.
Wonderful.
And just get the blessings that come with pursuing what you love all the time, which is what I love absolutely the most.
Yeah, it's good for it to come from a deeper place.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. I like where this conversation is going already.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you, we are with Palesa Molefe, actor and content creator. We have shared a link that you can use. It's in the description of the video as well as in the comment section. I'm sure we'll be sharing it soon. If you'd like to call in and ask Palesa Molefe any questions, please do so. And if you'd like to comment, please feel free to do so too.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that introduction, Palesa, about who you are and your emotions and everything. Now let's talk about Palesa, the actor and content creator.
Right, of course.
Yes. How did this journey start? How did you get to where you are today?
It's still ongoing, the journey. It's
wonderful.
You know, and a lot of people do give me credit along the way, which I think it's also it's an important thing because it encourages you, number one, because sometimes, you know, in as much as it comes from within, what you feel and what you want to become, it always feels good when people motivate you along the way.
Yes.
But it's early beginnings that start from a very young age. I think my first recollection of being in front of people, right? And I wasn't acting, but Nikira Mabunte.
Oh, right.
Yes,
Yeah, we can tell.
Really? Senate 3, little girl. I was in a pageant, right? And so we were all representing different countries, and I was Miss Kenya, which was all fun and dandy.
Wow.
And I think my thing was I was so afraid. I think that's my first time being so afraid to be in front of people, and it's just to look beautiful in a dress and look beautiful in an attire. I didn't have to speak. I actually sang.
Oh,
guys,
yeah, because I know there's a talent component
yeah, there's a talent
to the modeling
I
and
sang,
everything. Yeah.
and I know that I'm not the best singer, but I was cute, so anything goes. So I remember refusing to be the first in line. So and my teachers were like, "No, be the first in line."
Wow.
So first of all, that kind of showed me they saw something in
Yeah,
me.
absolutely.
You know, they were like,
Absolutely.
"Bale, just be the first. You need to open." And I was like, "No, I don't wanna." You know, and I think that's also something that I might have carried into my young adulthood, but we'll touch on that later. So that happened, and then I won. I felt great.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Nikiwala standard 3, and I beat standard 7. I was like, oh, standard 7. You're much taller than me, but I won. So it was like a bragging thing. So from then on, it just went on to do like little plays in school and kind of get my confidence out there. I was I've always been a very bubbly child, but that also came with some like shyness to it.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense. It's like an introvert who can be extroverted.
Introverted, extrovert. Yeah, well, potato.
Potato, mash it together, you know? And it caught on.
Okay.
Because there was a point in time where I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't feel like I was good at it anymore.
Okay.
I didn't, because number one, there was a lot of negativity around it.
Okay.
A lot of negativity in relation to poverty around it.
Okay.
And you know, I don't come from a wealthy family, so the last thing you want to hear when you're trying to make a good life for yourself is that what you're passionate about is
won't bring food to the
won't
table.
bring food to the table. And I think at the time I was not exposed to a lot of people like me who were making it, especially because of where I am from. It wasn't celebrated. You know, you celebrate those who are outside. So for some reason, it kind of dimmed the light a little bit, and I was like, okay, look, let me try to do something else. And you know, your parents have the fear of it not working out for you in life. Every parent wants their children to do better than them.
Absolutely.
So when you hear your child wanting to do something very risky, you're like, no, you're cautious. I'm like, no, my child, let's
do the books first.
Let's do the books
and then,
first, you know? And it's very understandable,
absolutely.
you know?
It's justified.
Yeah, when you're young, you fight it, but as you grow up, you kind of learn and be like, yeah.
Maybe they were right.
Maybe they, you know, I know,
Here
not
and there.
necessarily they were right, but maybe understand their point of view, because you just think, okay, yeah. So yeah, I grew up, continued loving it, and along the way, people took recognition of that. And they decided, you know what, I want to give you a shot in this and that. I was mentored. I was put in the right direction. And I think coming from a family that's so religious, right? Faith is a big thing.
Huge.
Faith is a huge thing. So I started to believe that these are blessings that are coming my way because of the frequency I'm letting out. Because that was a time I was really starting to open up to what I wanted to do. And I'm like, no, but I love this. And if there's anything I'll cry, I'll sweat, or I'll bleed for, it's this craft. And I'm gonna make it work, you know? So yeah, that's how I ended up here. And then through the blessings, I landed some opportunities. I've performed in front of our First Lady.
Wow.
Yeah, I've done a show with you.
Oh yes, we both acted on the Star. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
Wonderful.
I've done a show with you, which was amazing. A lot of fun and a big learning curve, a big learning experience for myself personally. And, you know, I'm rambling. It's okay.
It's your show. It's your show.
It's my show.
Yep, you know that.
But when it comes to content creation, that is something that really, I've always liked playing around with video and editing, and I never took it seriously. But when lockdown came, I think that's when I had a lot of downtime. Of course, when there's a lot of that, you play around, you make hideous things, and you make great things.
Of course.
And I think you just play around with that, and I tried very, very often not to judge myself harshly.
Because it's experimentation nonetheless.
Yeah, it is. And you need to learn that in as much as you are your biggest critic, you should also just leave room for growth and just be like, you know, when you ride a bicycle, you're supposed to fall a few times.
Absolutely.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
wise.
exactly. So that's kind of how we got there, man. And now we're just here, just receiving and being grateful for the blessings that come along with being in tune with what feels great and your passion and what really digs deep within you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Palesa.
Yeah.
You like the smile on my face right now. Because what I caught from there was very early on, there was already a bit of discouragement.
Yeah.
There was already a bit of dimmed light.
Definitely.
But you felt, let me just continue with this. And as you continued with what you were doing, blessings came.
Yeah.
You see, so when we decide on something as young people in business or professional settings, let's just push, regardless of those challenges or setbacks that we face from the onset. Let's keep going.
Exactly.
You did say that the blessings started coming, and then you also mentioned that you were mentored. You know, sometimes it may be difficult to get a mentor, but sometimes that guidance is very important.
Yeah.
Opportunities can come from that, and that's wonderful. You said from the content creation side, you were not really big on editing and the like, but you used the lockdowns and supposedly bad situations to develop some skills.
Definitely, yeah.
Wonderful. No, so that's good. Let's see how we can turn whatever negative situations we might be in positively, so that we can develop ourselves and our skills. And now, speaking of COVID and the corona pandemic, we've seen that it was during that time that we had a wave of, you know, content and content creators and creatives coming out there and putting their stuff out there. Now, why was it important for it to happen at that time? From a technological perspective and anything, why do you think that was important? And what has it changed?
Well, can I take it first from a non-technological perspective?
Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
I think it was so important for people to express themselves and find an outlet to do it.
Yes.
Because a lot of creatives, and not just creatives, I know this goes right across the board with people.
Yes.
We deal with so much in our lives, and we harbor so much emotion and energy in our minds. I feel like that let out served such a great purpose. And on TikTok, especially, people act so silly.
They can be
but
who
it's
they want
great
to be.
therapy. It's great therapy. Put your phone there and, you know, stuff a pillow in your bum and stuff a pillow in your boob and sing to Shakira.
Yeah.
You know, it
And
sounds,
just let it all out.
and just let it all out. It sounds silly, but it's such a great thing for someone to feel like, not everyone has that. But a lot of us have a smartphone, we have internet, and we can do that to help us out. But from a technological point of view, I think, first of all, I know this is something that a lot of us know, we are so in touch with, it's a problem for like physically, but like with our phones, we are so in touch with the world.
We're connected now.
We're so connected.
So connected globally.
The time in the lockdown, we got to see different ethnicities, different ways of life, different ways of thinking, different ways of doing things. And it's not just Africa to the world, it's the world to Africa as well. A lot of the ways people have thought of doing their content or doing it differently, we've been inspired by one another. Someone in Africa was inspired by someone in Europe who has a weird way of looking at things, and vice versa. We have been more open-minded, and we have been able to send messages across. We do not feel alone in situations anymore because of how fast it is to connect with someone on the other side of the world, or to know what's happening on the other side of the world. And so from that point of view, I think it's just brought together a community, but also an urgency to feel like there's a gap that needs to be filled in this content creation, and in feeling like, here's a niche, I'm gonna attack it.
Go for it.
And go for it. I know this amazing photographer who only has a specific way of taking pictures. And I spoke to him about his journey and how he got there. And he talked about people all the way in Japan. And that's such, and that's such a beautiful, it's a beautiful transaction to have between someone who does work here and someone who does work all the way that side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, and before I get into it, ladies and gentlemen, we are live having a rather scintillating conversation here with Palesa Molefe, content creator and actor. And we're talking about how the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdowns actually brought a wave of content that has changed the way a lot of people think and how things are done. And technologically, how we are now so connected as a globe. And funny that you mentioned Japan, because this is something that we will always boast about as the team here at Big Budget Business. So we actually had a caller who called in from Japan watching this show. I'm serious. So just check out the episodes and
What's
you'll see
hello
that.
in Japan? In
It
Japanese?
should be arigato.
Arigato?
Well, I hope so. But,
Arigato.
you know, the thing is, what I'm trying to say is we've also had comments coming in from Ivory Coast.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Namibia, South Africa, obviously, that's fine. You know, but that very thing shows that how we are now so interconnected. We are such a global village, and now we are not worried about sort of being enclosed or encompassed within
Definitely.
one particular space.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for that. Wow. So great perspectives there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to call in, we have shared a link within the comment section and in the description of the video. Please call in and speak to Palesa Molefe if you'd like to ask any questions. If you have any comments, please do comment. This is your opportunity to get some perspectives and ideas. Now, let's talk about a young person out there, Palesa, who would like to turn their passion or whatever it is that they love doing into perhaps a successful online business model. What can they think of? What type of research can they do? How can they do this?
Let's rock.
I like that.
Shucks, man. First of all, I think at the top of your head, think about where you'd like to see what you're doing maybe in the next 10 years.
Okay.
Right?
So that's a long-term perspective.
That's your
firstly.
long-term perspective.
All right.
Just like, okay, I'd like to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, XYZ. Cool.
All right.
That's the goal in 10 years.
Yeah.
Cool. Whether some people would like to take it to legacy-wise, because some people understand that what you're doing now will only make its mark when your grandchildren are there.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
And you know, they actually say that, you know, artists from time to time, their paintings actually sell at much higher prices when they've passed on.
Oh my days.
Imagine.
A friend of mine sent me, funny you say that, a friend of mine sent me this video of this painting that was sold for 400 million.
That's a lot of cash.
And
That's a big budget, right?
it was made in like it was made in like 1600s. It was the 1700s.
Yeah.
This man, his grandchildren are probably not there. It's probably his great grandchildren now who are like,
You probably don't even know.
don't
that
even
he
know that
existed,
this is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So think about longevity of like where you do like a trajectory of like, I want to do it that way. And I think the most important thing when you now have to execute plans in place, it's okay not to do everything yourself,
Yes. Okay.
right?
Yes.
It's okay to
Perfect.
not want to be the model, the director, the editor, the post, the this, the that, the that, the that, the that, the that, which is a trap I fell in actually.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying this from like experience because you put so much pressure on yourself
Yes.
because you feel like, oh, it wouldn't be perfect unless I do it. It wouldn't be perfect unless it's done this way, and I think I can do it this way. Sometimes you really need to come up with a team and trust your team.
Yes.
Big budget, for example.
Collaboration.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you and the great guys behind the camera.
Absolutely.
The guys who edit, the guys who shoot, the guys who make sure we're clean and
Wonderful.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do not be afraid to collaborate. Do not be afraid to network, right? To speak to, Bradley. Bradley is a great business model developer. I have a business idea.
Yes.
I'm not sure how to execute it because I am, you know how creatives are. We are creatives. We're passionate. We love this. We love that. And a lot of our energies go into our craft.
Yes.
A lot
Very
of
much
our minds and what we do is when we're in it, we really are into it. But, you know, if you are blessed enough to think of a way to make money from what you're doing, which is, you can really do it all the time. But I know some creatives who aren't so focused on that because they feel like it takes away from who they are and they have to model it according to a client's needs.
Yes.
But if you want to do that, approach Bradley, research around your area or whoever, because these days, if you have a certain level of expectation on what something's done and you don't think it's in your area, there's the internet.
Yeah.
You can get in touch with literally anyone, anything online can be done just like that.
Yeah.
Get a business model done, be a professional, because you being a creative does not mean when you walk into an office, people expect sloppy work. It doesn't. You can get it professionally done.
Yes.
You want advice, shadow someone, intern. You know, sometimes you just want a mentor. We want someone to approach us and be like, oh, you're doing great. Let me mentor you. Sometimes you need to approach somebody.
Yes.
You're doing amazing, you're doing great. I'm not asking for money, but I'm just asking to shadow you for X amount of time. I will assist you and I will be there. I would like this opportunity to just see what you do because I think you're so amazing in what you do.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course, and your insight, I can benefit from your insight
From
as
your
a mentor.
insight, exactly.
You know, just your guidance. It's not your money, like you said. It's not your money.
It's
that I'm
not your
looking
money
for.
that I'm looking for
Wow.
because at the end of the day, you know, money comes and goes,
Yes.
but your knowledge stays. And you know, depending obviously on how you carry yourself, the connections you make, they stay and they last.
Relationships.
Your relationships, how you project yourself, how you carry yourself around people, and so forth and so on. You know, sometimes we like being alone, but you need people to get stuff done.
Yes.
And I think sometimes it's what, you know, can break some people's hearts because you go to people and they hurt you, but you do understand the value of people. It's just that for some reason the wrong type of people keep coming into your view, which is when I think you kind of have to introspect and kind of see how to maneuver that according to your own way of living.
That's profound. That's profound. You did say, I liked how you said we shouldn't be afraid to actually go and seek mentorship. That can be helpful because a lot of us live in our own bubbles and we feel like, I'm doing this well, so the world probably sees me, and somebody out there, an angel investor, is going to come and plant funds into my business.
Definitely.
There's a great writer who's I think it was Martin Seligman in cognitive, I forget the name, but nonetheless he did say that create the thing and then let them know that you are there. Once you've created the thing and then you go and you let them know, hi Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, this is me, this is what I do, and I've been watching you for a while. I feel like I can benefit from your experience. Wonderful. So there's a lot of things that we can do as young people, as you're saying. And then let's talk about like from the perspective of the social networks, like the YouTubes, the TikToks, like what are people doing out there? What have you seen? Have you seen people creating successful business models from this?
Oh, definitely. I have also realized that some of the services that are available internationally are not available locally.
Certainly.
Right?
Yeah.
So sometimes that is an obstacle.
Yes.
But I have realized, and I'll speak about one platform that I'm very familiar with. That's TikTok.
Oh, yes.
I have been seeing a lot of my fellow TikTokers getting endorsements through TikTok. Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's a standard TikTok video, someone just having a good time, and then you have your TikTok videos where you can see it's someone trying to advertise something, and that's exposure. That number one means your platform is working for you.
Yes.
Because the client has seen that you have great engagement, you have a great following, and they would like to use our product through you on this platform.
Wow.
And so that just becomes a domino effect because the more people engage with you, the more it grows. For myself, a lot of the work that's coming my way, I would say majority of the people saw me on TikTok.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, your TikTok is popping.
Yeah,
I've told you that before.
Let me be modest. No, I'm joking. Thank you. So yes, TikTok has been such a great outlet, and I think because I do follow and I'm followed by big people in South Africa who also do TikTok, but there's a difference because they get number one, like recognition. I think there's a TikTok office in South Africa. I believe they get recognition from that. They get like little prizes and little thank yous and little stuff like that.
Wow.
You know, it's something that goes a long way in terms of when someone is using your app and you reach out and show appreciation, or it keeps it going.
Of course.
It keeps it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so things like that in Botswana, it happens on a smaller scale. They're trying, and we really do try with what we got and stuff like that. So TikTok is going, YouTube, yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there with YouTube. And as for Facebook, I'm not big on Facebook, but I know that there are people who are doing great things on Facebook. Facebook is like a place where you can really go viral.
Okay.
Like if you have great content and you put it on there, you can really spread it out to different age groups on Facebook. Because I feel like there are still some people who are not on either Instagram or TikTok.
Yes.
But our grandmothers and our grandfathers are on Facebook, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Instagram has also been a great place for engagement, especially if you have a social media manager. Because one great thing about social media is when you have consistency. When you're consistent and you like take out great quality content. You keep it going, and you know people are like, okay, when a client looks at your profile and they see consistency, okay, I love this, I'll keep it going like that.
Wonderful. You did mention the social media managers. I'll ask you two questions as a follow-up to what you just said.
Right.
But before I do, ladies and gentlemen, remember there's a link if you'd like to call in. Do so. If you'd like to comment and ask any questions, please do so. We are with Palesa Molefe, actor and content creator, getting her perspectives about the creative industry and more. Now, we were talking about social media managers. Number one, what exactly is that? What's a social media manager, and how can we harness the potential of social media managers as young people who'd like to grow online? And then number two, the second question would relate to what you spoke about with respect to the networks, that some of these networks, maybe YouTube is slower here or Instagram is better there. Would you say a young person should either pick one network and try and, let me, for lack of a better word, and blow up on that particular network, or should they use all of the networks and try to cross-post and spread their wings, basically?
Okay.
Diversify or stick to one.
Okay, so it was the social media question and then the social media.
Yeah.
Social media managers and social media.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the managers, I think I know about a handful of social media managers.
All right. You mean locally?
Locally.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
I do think they are a big necessity. However, I'm not aware of how competent they are. You can have a label, but the question is, do you actually deliver when it comes to what you do?
Okay.
But I do feel like it's an essential part of upkeeping what they do. You have a job to do in terms of like creating content.
Okay.
And okay, let me speak as me, right?
Okay, Presley.
Yeah,
as
so
the
that
content creator.
so that it's better. Yeah.
All right.
So you have a job either you're an actor, you're a content creator, you have things to do, you plan things around to create content for you. What a social media manager does is they sort of help you keep things on track and be consistent and help you choose the direction in which you should go and how your aesthetic should look and how you should shape yourself and who your audience target is and how to penetrate that. It's just somebody who helps you clap. You know those donkey things?
All right.
They kind of help you know
Focus.
where to go and how to envision all of that. Because a lot of the time when we create, sometimes we lose the plot here and there because one, it can be pressure. The pressure of trying to create so much content, and number two, sometimes you don't have the motivation to do it. But a social media manager kind of helps you keep you up to date on your growth, on the people that are engaging, on your engagements. If you need to do more engagement on your LinkedIn, on your Instagram, on your TikTok, keep it going, keep it. It's your best friend who helps you out with your numbers and so forth and so on.
Wow.
And as for content, I would not advise a person to stick to one thing.
Okay.
You will have audiences that are on YouTube that are not on TikTok and vice versa, and Instagram and Facebook, But the most important thing for you to do is when you do that, know the type of audience that is on each platform. If I follow you, Big Budget, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, and you post today, and the post that you make is a generic thing, you do not edit it according to the platform. Your caption is the same, and the way you edit is the same. Don't edit the same on TikTok the way you do for Instagram, the way you do for Facebook, the way you do for YouTube.
Lovely.
Those are different demographics. Those are different people who are there for different reasons.
I feel like I should be taking notes.
I'm on TikTok. I want to see something short and sweet. I swipe so many times on TikTok. Grab my attention. Make it short and sweet, get to the point, go.
Yes.
Instagram, I have a bit more time, but I'm still swiping. But you know, my lag time is like a good, 2-3 seconds longer than TikTok. Because TikTok is like a swipe. Instagram, okay, cool. Facebook, I think you can play around on Facebook. But when you go to YouTube, number one, people do expect a bit longer content, but our attention span is a bit shorter now. So it's very tricky because you don't want to play around and shoot a video for like an hour and expect me to sit there for an hour and watch your video when I can go to, funny enough, when I can go to TikTok, I swipe 3 times and I would have gathered all the information you had in an hour.
In an hour.
In 3 swipes on TikTok. So just about being smart about it, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So try and cater to different audiences.
Definitely.
And know the particular audiences.
Know them.
So that you can carve your content in a certain way.
Yeah.
I can see we have a comment here from Johnny Pula, and he says, I'm loving this. Thank you very much, Johnny Pula, for that. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Johnny.
Right. Okay, so let's talk a bit about, you did introduce it, your experience shooting a local TV drama series called The Star, which we both we were both on, right?
Yeah.
That was quite an experience.
Oh, that was...
Tell me about how you liked that, and because you did say there's something that it did for you.
Yeah.
It did a lot for
me. Made me go
too,
crazy.
This is about you. Wow.
Wait, what did it do for you? I'm interviewing him now.
Maybe I'll just steal him much. It did a lot,
Yeah.
It actually pushed me to get into a character that I never thought I would have managed. But it pushed me to the limits, and I like that. And the feedback from the audience with The Star was amazing. So that you did say you need that push, that external motivation. I got that.
You got
Certainly
that's
got that.
amazing.
Wow.
And I think I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but there were talks of like a you know?
Oh yeah, they were talking about something.
There were talks about,
you mean here and there.
Yeah.
There was that, but it's one of those things.
Yeah.
It's big budget business.
It's big budget business.
Let's keep it big
I
budget.
think for me, I think it was the most challenging thing for me personally. The most no, I'm not being honest. Physically, it was.
Physically, oh yes. There's a lot of work that goes into the
Physically,
acting,
it was.
The hours.
I think definitely physically it was, because even shooting The Star, everything was so fast. Everything happened so fast. Number one, from how the scripts were written.
Oh yes, wow. And kudos to Serena and
they're absolutely
those
amazing.
Guys, like,
I
wow,
adore
and,
those
like,
women.
Wow.
And I think what they delivered in the pressure and the time they had was crazy.
That is local talent.
Was absolutely crazy.
Wonderful.
But also from our end, receiving that, it's like, okay, so we got 3 scripts today. You're gonna shoot this, and it's the first time you're seeing it.
Shout out to the whole team. Y'all were amazing.
Everyone was crazy, and I think the hours were insane because of the what was it? What do you call this? The curfew.
Oh, yes.
Because of the curfew that we had.
Pressure.
The pressure. I remember for a week straight, we had to. Our call time was 4. We left at 4 in the morning. It's like 4 in the evening till 4 in the morning. And then you sleep, and then you have to come back at 4.
Imagine.
For a week.
That was taxing.
And you still have to deliver this character.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't have a lot of prep time.
Wow.
Do you understand what's going on?
I understand. I was there.
It was a lot. It was, but I think it was amazing. And I say this all the time. If there was one thing I would bleed, cry, and sweat for, it's that. A lot of people go through different things in their businesses. A lot of people go through a lot of tumultuous times. And I feel like they have to push on. And I think that for me was a time where I was like, yo girl, no, put your big girl socks on. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Let's rock.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. And the comments are coming in. Thank you so much for the comments. Remember, if you'd like to call in, you can do so too. We've got Michael Kanyandula Sokholodi here, who says, beautiful distinction on how to use the different platforms.
Thank you.
Been learning on this from Karabo. They be calling me handsome. Letsolo. Shout out to both of you guys, Michael and Karabo. Thanks a lot for that. And Brenda Chiesa says, you guys did a good job on the show. Lol. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I like the lol part.
Hey, lol, back to you. Thank you.
Wonderful.
That's fantastic.
Palesa, what would you say is your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration. It's going to sound really cheesy, but I'm just going to say it anyway.
Yeah.
My biggest inspiration would to represent possibilities. In every sense of the word, but not a very specific sense of the statement, if that makes sense.
Okay. Tell us a bit more.
I think I would just like to dig. I'd like to dig really deep into what I'm doing and who I am, and just run with it.
Wonderful.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, listen, I'm gonna give myself a good 7 years to really give it my all, like run
Yes.
relentlessly, unapologetically, and just grasp and just be like a lioness, like a lion.
Yeah, be intentional
about
Yeah.
it. And then after that 7 years, I'm gonna sit down and introspect and see if I gave it my all and I did all I could do to make it work. And if it doesn't, well, who says it's not gonna work? Shame it's gonna work out. So
Positivity all around.
you know, so I don't, you know, that's my plan A, my plan B, C, D to Z. You know, it's to represent possibilities. It's to just. I think a lot of the time, I'm gonna be very honest. A lot of the time, I struggled with purpose. I struggled with feeling like, is this what I really want to do? Is this who I really want to become?
Yes.
And slowly but surely, I kind of found my way to feeling a sense of belonging into something that felt like a calling that felt right. I didn't just want to do things, Hella, because anyone can do that. Anyone can just do anything because it's a 9 to 5.
Yes.
Is this, is that.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes life pushes us to do things like that because, number one, you have responsibilities that you need to take care of.
Yeah.
But I think I've just been really fortunate where I don't have binding responsibilities or something that I have to take care of, or someone who I have to take care of.
So you can do you.
So I can genuinely do me. So I think my thing right now is just to swim in those waters and see what greatness or what potential thing that I can just say, okay, this is what I've done. In my time living on this earth, this is what I chased with all my being. We're losing our loved ones, and I feel like if my time is next year or next month, I would have done my all.
Wonderful.
I would have been relentless.
Wonderful.
In what I was doing. And you know, I have fear like everybody else.
Wow.
I'm not perfect.
Wow.
You know, and it's fighting that, and God embracing that, jumping into that, swimming, like grab your fear's hand and run with your fear.
Wonderful. We have a comment here. Sorry to cut you short.
Okay.
It says, definitely. This is Keith Tafadzo Kanengoni. He says, definitely pressure makes diamonds. Loving you two's willingness to challenge yourselves, to expose yourselves to new experiences.
Love it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Wow. It's a lot that I picked up from there in terms of going for what you want so that you can leave your mark. You know, a wise man once said, do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. That's big budget for you right there. But anyway.
It's like, can you like put that as a quote somewhere?
Yeah,
that
no,
is
definitely.
fantastic.
We'll share that. We should share that in the comment section.
That's fantastic.
Right. So Palesa, are there any causes, any social causes or community development causes that you're interested in? And also, how can you be contacted for your services?
Shucks. Okay. Well, currently I'm actually in the talks with my friend Chateau about going to, well, it's still in the talks, so I don't want to expose too much.
Okay.
But we're in the talks of going to an area where there's a lot of underprivileged children. Wow. And because he knows like what I do, he approached me and he's like, hey, I would love it if you just came here and maybe like once a week and spend time with these kids and just like help them, like just bring out a side of them. Be silly with them, act with them, teach them how to act, teach them how to...
I'm sure you do that very well.
Yeah, social presence, personal performance, just being you and how to present yourself and how to just speak for yourself.
Wow.
And I was more than excited, and I'm very excited to actually do that because I had a similar experience where I was teaching children personal performance classes. So it's not something that is very out of my reach, but yeah, it's just things like that. And I think I'm really open to more projects. I just opened an NGO.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's just about artists in Botswana. I think it's just to illuminate the value of artists in our society. And I have a board of women who are absolutely amazing. And I think we really want to make a change, you know. one person at a time.
Absolutely.
No matter how long it takes, just as long as you touch a life and you can help someone realize a dream, and you know, we're still making up the structure so that it's a steady foundation. But so far, yeah. But I'm open. I'm very open to more initiatives and more things that are coming my way.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. And how can you be reached for and contacted for your services?
Oh, right. So you can email me on Palesa at bookings. I'm not telling the truth. Palesa bookings at gmail.com.
That's all right.
You can
It's
email
okay.
me at palesabookings at gmail.com.
And
and
that
then
would be Palesa.
that would be Palesa.
Bookings is a bit too long. But
Bookings.
BOOKINGS at Gmail.
At gmail.com, yes.
Right.
And then on my TikToky, if you just want to smile a little bit, that's just Palesa. That's Palesa.
Okay.
Yeah, there's two A's. Palesa. And my Instagram handle is Palesa Molefe, Paalesa Molefe. But you can also find me at Molefe_Lesa.
Wow. I like it. It goes back to what you said.
Yeah.
Go be there, here and there.
Yeah.
But know your audience.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
exactly.
Wonderful.
And I have a Facebook page, Palesa Molefe.
All right. No, that's great.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we have it. We were speaking to Palesa Molefe, actor and content creator, about a wide range of issues, the creative space in Botswana,
Yes.
technology, COVID. It's been a wonderful interview. Let me thank you so much for making the time to come to Big Budget Business.
Amazing. Thank you so much for inviting me. I always see you on the Facebook, so I'm like, this is fancy. This is nice.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank
that,
you
man.
so
It's a
much.
team effort, collaboration. That's just how it goes.
You've been amazing.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, before we cut the show, do not go anywhere. Just give us a few minutes. We need to go for an ad break.
Hi, Mom.
Minute tip, ladies and gentlemen. Last week we spoke to you about the benefits of networking. But what we're going to do today in continuation of that is to speak to the 5 types of networking groups that you might want to join or establish as you go about your networking in your strategy. Remember, they do say that your network is your net worth. So number 1, casual contact networks. These are large, widespread networks or organizations with various people from diversified industries. So they all come together and form this network, and you can join that. An example locally is Business Botswana. Number 2, strong contact networks. Now, strong contact networks are more close-knit and smaller networks than casual contact networks. And here you'll usually have one type of professional from one industry. So for instance, a doctor, an architect, a quantity surveyor, and an engineer can come together and pass each other referrals to keep the business within their circle. And then number 3, online networks. That one is really self-explanatory. It's, for instance, an example is you creating your professional network on a network like LinkedIn. And then number 4, community service clubs. Community service clubs are networks that are founded on a social principle, for instance, community development. And as these networks push for these social initiatives, business cards are exchanged and deals are sealed. For instance, Rotary or the Lions Club. And then lastly, professional associations. Professional associations is basically individuals from the same industry or the same profession coming together to form associations. For instance, the Architects Association of Botswana, the Association of Business Consultants of Botswana, and the like. So once again, as we go about our networking strategies as young people in business, let's consider these casual contact networks, strong contact networks, professional associations, community service clubs, and online networks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful show. Thank you so much for your time. From me, Big Budget, and the team that makes it happen, Black Network, Moana Pictures, it's good night and God bless. And never forget that you were born for so much more.